Oh, yeah. It was a hard day 7 days ago. Whole week. It was a hard day for people out there who didn't understand that the times have changed and things had to evolve. People had to move on. Some could, others just didn't. But nevertheless, others weren't fooled. The cream always rises to the top. And when the performance was said and done, we knew the devil would lie. And they did. Tried to spread every false narrative around the board. But one constant remained. Can't fake influence.
It was mid. It was mid. It was nothing spectacular. Kendrick fans were just glazing him. Okay. Drake's had enough.
Chill.
Oh, let's talk about it.
No one knows Orsino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world. And I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. We're back. That's what I want to see, them tears, baby. I want to see the tears. Drake's had enough. I'll decide when he's had enough. Because when y'all think he's had enough, that's when the pain starts. He ain't had enough yet. Oh, no. We got to break that SOB in 2. Now, the devil's lies. All of a sudden, there was this lie that NFL contacted Lil Wayne and apologized for him because they was upset with Mr. Lamar's performance, saying that they should have had Lil Wayne. Oh, God. And allegedly, Skip Bayless alluded to that the NFL contacted Lil Wayne and apologized. I heard him say that part. I doubt that's what they said. Rock Nation is the only people that would have contacted him. It would not have been the NFL head of music, who is Seth Dodowski, the guy you see right here, as he goes over what it was like in this process with Kendrick Lamar and how difficult it was to put together that set. And people didn't realize what all Kendrick had to do until you looked at that set.
Artists like Kendrick in terms of the talent to be able to execute in a way that very few artists, let alone hip hop artists, can. And it's a production and a musical performance that isn't just about understanding music and art. Then how do you display it for broadcast and in media in a way that makes sense on a global scale?
We were on the field and behind the scenes with the creators to find out the real story of Kendrick Lamar's epic halftime show.
Now, what was so epic is, you see that field? That's an NFL field. You got to be in the best shape possible. You know why? Because Kendrick Lamar had to run to all of those sections on foot. While Samuel John Jackson's talking, K-Dot got to run to the next section. He got to run while he's mic'd up, everything. He got to run. Boom, he over there. He got to run to the next square, next triangle, next circle. And then he didn't miss a beat. A lot of y'all just thought it was just effortless, like it was close by. That stuff wasn't close by. Absolutely. So when you see it, you'll understand it a lot more or a lot better. Now that you're taking a look at it and how difficult the process was to put together, and it was a smart concept to come up with. Donald Trump actually altered this. He didn't talk about this, but I know it, so I might as well bring it up here now. Donald Trump altered only a small part of the ceremony, of the performance. Donald Trump took away the pyrometrics and all the explosions due to the fact that he was attacked and shot at. They couldn't have any large explosions. He didn't want that during the show. So the Secret Service got involved and said, no, we can't allow that. So they had to tone it down to what you saw at the Super Bowl. All the explosions, the fireworks. They was like, man, there was no fireworks, hardly nothing. That was because Donald Trump was in the house. So that was on Secret Service.
At Super Bowl 59.
That's why we came.
We take you there in Billboard All Access.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Come on, man. I'm humble, just like him. Oh, and I hope that's what he opens up with.
The passion I have now is still the passion I had then. And I think that carried on to the Super Bowls.
For this year with Kendrick Lamar, we announced him the first weekend of the season. We already have a set playground for them to play in. So when they come with their ideas, they're not coming with, staging ideas that can't fit through the tunnel. And then shortly after that, his creative team, Dave Free, Mike Carson, a few weeks later came to us with the initial seeds of what they wanted to do narratively.
Before the Cali legend began the biggest performance of his life, all his celeb fans were excited.
Oh my God, he's gonna fucking kill it. Oh, can I cuss? I don't know. He's gonna kill it.
Kendrick is a beast. He's a master. I know he's gonna do great.
Of course, I love Kendrick. Love LA.
I'm excited. I hope I see SZA.
Kendrick putting on for the city, and this is awesome. He's badass.
He got love all throughout the world, not just the West Coast, but he got the West Coast love, and that's really the most important when you got love at home.
One of the biggest limiting factors that doesn't change year over year is just the amount of time that we have to set up the show. This concept that the PG Lang came to us with is frankly one of the biggest, most expansive shows that we've had in terms of just amount of the field that it covers. And so ultimately, we really did have to sit down and work through over the months and weeks leading up to the game to say, how do we build this in the 7 hours?
Now listen to that and look at that. You get it now? Do you get it? Do you see how difficult that is? Most of y'all would pass out trying to run over there and still having the breath control to rap. He started off over here on top of the car. That's where he started from. Then he had to jump down from the car, run all the way to the middle, then he had to go to the X, You know, he had to run to the light pole. Then he ran to the X. Then after that's done, he had to go all the way over. He had to do this march where they in the middle with the women and they doing Luther. Then he had to run all the way over there to that triangle where SZA was. And they doing all the stars and everything else. And here the circle is where all those other dancers was at. Then when it was over, he ran all the way back to the middle. It's a lot of running around, bro.
1.5 minutes that we have and ultimately strike it in the 6 minutes after the show.
And it was a spectacle.
We knew from the very beginning that Kendrick and Dave Free were looking at this as a narrative and a story, or at least a real idea from start to finish about the video gamified version of Kendrick's journey through the American dream. And so we knew there would be a narrator when it comes to recognizable voices, true iconic figures, and an artist in his own right, like Samuel L. Jackson. And of course, we were nothing but excited and energized once we knew it was him.
And he was joined by superstar SZA.
It really did feel like a natural fit, and that's something that they brought to us mid-season, I want to say about November, as a real idea. And with her, it really did just fit seamlessly into the overall creative that they were putting together. There are so many layers to the involvement of Serena, but first and foremost, her just being from Compton, being somebody in Kendrick's world. Obviously, she's had her own experience on a global stage like that, and frankly, with dance moves like that as well. But at the end of the day, that comes from Kendrick and the PG Lang team, and another iconic figure in their own right to add to the show that I know only helped drive the conversation even further. When we look at it not only being the first solo hip hop artist to do this, to me, it was also one of the most current artists, especially when not only him winning all those Grammys the week before and how much he's dominated the conversation in the past year, but also just the number of tracks from within the past year certainly is unique for a Super Bowl.
Hearing that mustard from the Super Bowl
I hope
field.
he performs that. If he performs that, oh my God.
We need him on the thing.
Right, you need to be on there.
I would love that. But even if I'm not and he performs it, I'll be just as happy. So, yeah.
And Mustard said hi to us right before joining K. Dot himself.
I knew that song was going to be in the show. It was my first thought. It was obviously we expect him to be there, but at the same way that all these other artists came together, it's not until Kendrick and Tony, his musical director, and Dave Free tell us that this is what they'd like to do creatively. Once that came to us, it was another one that made complete sense. And of course, we're doing TV off. You got to have Mustard there.
That's my team, man. It's 30 incredible individuals.
About halftime and would it be a New Orleans artist and how would we represent the city? And ultimately, when I think about what music means to a city like...
What he gonna do? But I know that he's gonna end it with Not Like Us.
I know that there was a lot of conversation about halftime and would it be a New Orleans artist and how would we represent the city? And ultimately, when I think about what music means to a city like New Orleans, it's about art for the sake of art. True artists who are there for their love of performance and to be able to express themselves through art. I don't know if there's any artist that represents that more than Kendrick Lamar.
That's the head of music for the NFL. So Rock Nation brings everything to the head of music. They approve it. So they're the guys that got all the licenses. They're the guys that say we could do it, or I don't think we could do that. Not with him. Do you understand? Those people wanted K. Dot. They weren't thinking about Lil Wayne. They said nobody embodies that like Kendrick. Mm, mm, mm. Now, why would y'all be raving for Lil Wayne? Not that we hate Wayne. Nobody hates Wayne. But be realistic. It's stupid. He's in New Orleans. What the hell does that mean? Everybody in there ain't from damn New Orleans. This is not a Saints game. This is the Super Bowl. Hell, the Saints ain't even playing, and Lil Wayne ain't even a Saints fan. So, run that by me again. Now, when they opened the Super Bowl, he could have been out there. He could have did the opening ceremonies. They got Harry Connick Jr. and they got the jazz bands from New Orleans. They opened up the Super Bowl. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to look. But see, when you got a degenerate like Champagne Sloppy, who's upset, he gonna create every lie he can and spread it through his minions. And they're gonna go out and do his bidding. And you got 69 gods running around out here with these incredible fake narratives. And it takes the real people to see through that bullshit. And then they debunk it because it's common sense. It's common sense. You know, there's so many different people trying to change the scales, move the needle, etc., etc., etc. It's like a moth to flame. They can't help themselves. The moth's like, man, that light is bright. I got to run to it. Bzz, and they go. So you're not going to change the story. Well, people have decisions they got to make. When they start getting into certain situations, they have decisions that they have to make. Society has put everybody in this box to where we're back stuck on this one thing and we can't get past it. The Super Bowl is a week past, and people are still talking about the performance of halftime. And you know why they're doing it? Is because nothing else come along to knock that out of the picture. Hell, I just watched the performance the other day. Still amazed, still inspired, and still proud that the first hip hop headliner at a Super Bowl was iconically and globally attached in such a way I mean, there's no words for it. Now, this gives a lot of inspiration to those artists out there that want to be creative. If you want to be creative and you want to believe in your art and you want to push the culture forward, this is a good way to do it. This is the way to do it. So I'm proud of that moment. Proud of that, to stand out. Well, it all kicked off when Sloppy made the biggest mistake of his life. That was the first domino. And after that, it was more dominoes that just kept coming down the line. Well, everybody knows what I think about the album. I'm not going back to it no more. So there's no need to go back through it. But yeah, it's a bad album. Okay, so if you like it, you like it. That's just it. And there's something seriously wrong with you. But yeah, that's all it is. So anyway, I'm out. Thank you for your time. God bless you. And good night. I said good night. Damn, what more do they want? Oh yeah, don't forget to go to the Patreon, which is Carcino for Life. Okay, I said that. Like button. Hopefully you hit it. I got to tell you to hit the like button again. I'm gonna fall out.